Good morning, viewers. This is Global Entertainment News TV. I am your host, Bisola, and welcome to our newspaper review segment. Let's start with the punch. I am loyal to Tinubu, but my actions are mine, says Obasa. I am loyal to Tinubu, but my actions are mine, says Obasa. Moving on. Ex-speaker takes over assembly with four lawmakers. Ex-speaker takes over assembly with four lawmakers. Moving on to the next. Miranda's fate uncertain, 36 lawmakers kick. Miranda's fate uncertain, 36 lawmakers kick. On to the next headline. NLC shares protest as subscribers welcome 35% tariff hike. NLC shares protest as subscribers welcome 35% tariff hike. Moving on to the next. I rejected 500 million naira gift during my mother's burial, says EFCC chairman. I rejected 500 million naira gift during my mother's burial, says EFCC chairman. Up to the next. Natasha threatens to expose Akpabio as group petitions Senate. Natasha threatens to expose Akpabio as group petitions Senate. Moving on to the next. Consumers kick as FG plans fresh power tariff hike. Consumers kick as FG plans fresh power tariff hike. Up to the next. Ramadan, Muslims on moon, Bauchi Kebbi school shut. Sultan alerts Muslims on moon, Bauchi Kebbi schools shut. To the next headline. Driver handed Oyo copper to kidnappers, says sister. Driver handed Oyo coppers to kidnappers, says sister. Up to the next. Nigerian passengers stranded in Togo after Air France flight diversion. Nigerian passengers stranded in Togo after Air France flight diversion. That's it for the punch. We move to the nation. Obasa, I remain Lagos speaker. Obasa, I remain Lagos speaker. Up to the next. Telecom tariff hike necessary to save jobs, sustain economy. Telecom tariff hike necessary to save jobs, sustain economy. Up to the next. Federal government to clear pensions backlog in 3 months. Federal government to clear pensions backlog in 3 months. Moving on to the next. Natasha seeks transparent investigation by Senate panel. Natasha seeks transparent investigation by Senate panel. To the next headline. Glo slashes call rate to all networks, retains bonus. Glo slashes call rate to all networks, retains bonus. Moving on to the next. Federal, state, councils shares 1.7 trillion naira January allocation. Federal, state, councils shares 1.7 trillion naira January allocations. To the next one. Hold on, FCCPC tells MultiChoice. Hold on, and FCCPC tells MultiChoice. Up to the next. Disco's failure to invest drawback to electricity supply, says minister. Disco's failure to invest drawback to electricity supply, says minister. That's it for the nation. We move to the Guardian. War against fake drugs. How systemic inefficiency, complicity and multi-trillion naira illicit trade. How systemic inefficiency, complicity and aids multi-trillion naira illicit drugs. Moving on to the next. Obasanjo, 7 ex-leaders seek debt relief for African countries. Obasanjo, 7 ex-leaders seek debt relief for African countries. Up to the next headline. Air Force investigates as officer kills 1, injures 2 in Kaduna. Air Force investigates as officer kills 1, injures 2 in Kaduna. Moving on to the next. At reps hearing, FG rules out inheritance tax in reform bills. At Reps hearing, FG rules out inheritance tax in reform bills. Up to the next. NANS Action Aid demand release of kidnapped Benue Varsity students. NANS Action Aid demands release of kidnapped Benue Varsity students. To the next headline. Mass wedding, Kebbi pays 54 million naira as bride price for 300 couples. Mass wedding, Kebbi pays 54 million naira as bride price for 300 couples. Moving on to the next. Statutory revenue rises by 622.1 billion naira as FG, states, LGAs shares 1.70 trillion naira. Statutory revenue rises by 622.1 billion naira as FG, states, LGAs shares 1.70 trillion naira. Moving on to the next. Chaos, confusion trails claims to Lagos Assembly speakership. Chaos, confusion trade claims to Lagos Assembly speakership. Up to the next. FG to review electricity tariff for Brand B C customers as subsidy hits 4 trillion naira. FG to review electricity tariff for Brand B C customers as subsidy hits 4 trillion naira. And that's it for our newspaper review segment. Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to join us again next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more news and updates on Global Entertainment News TV. I've been your host, Busola. Remain blessed. Bye.